Good morning to all. My name is Kiran Kumar. In this video, I am going to explain the subject which is common to all branches CS 205, CS 205, Programming in C. CS 205, Programming in C. This subject have 6 chapters. It has 6 chapters. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The subject code is CS205 and this is common to all branches. This subject is common to all branches. The first chapter covers programming methodology and introduction to C language. Programming methodology and introduction to C language. And the second chapter covers data types, variables, constants, and third chapter covers decision making and looping statements, and fourth chapter covers arrays and string functions, and fifth chapter covers user defined functions, and sixth chapter covers file management file management, structures, unions, and file management. Structures, unions, and file management. So this is common to all branches. This subject is common to all branches in the second semester level. Second semester C21 scheme, second semester 205. 205. The subject code is CS 205 and the subject name is Programming in C. The total hours is 75. Okay. So in this I am going to explain topic by topic. Topic by topic. I am going to explain topic by topic. First I am going to explain chapter 1. Chapter 1. So that is the chapter 1 is programming methodology and introduction to C language. Programming methodology and introduction to C language. Programming methodology and introduction to C language. So for this one I have prepared PPTs. Okay. So I am going to open the PPT, the first chapter PPT, the first unit, that one first chapter. So this is the PPT and the subject is at second semester level. The programming in C, course code is CS205. The topic unit 1 is programming methodology and introduction to C language. So in that subtopic is problem solving steps and algorithms. Problem solving steps and algorithms. Okay. The first chapter is programming methodology and introduction to C language. In that one, the topic 1 is problem solving steps and algorithms. Problem solving steps and algorithms. Okay. So in this one, first I am going to explain. So what is a problem? Actually in this chapter the total contents are: what is a problem, how to define a problem, what are the steps involved in problem solving, and what is an algorithm, what is a flowchart, and how to write an algorithm, and what are the symbols used in flowchart, and writing some algorithms and flowcharts, and what is a language. That is, there are different types of languages are there: low level language, high level language, middle level language, and what is a high level language, and So many other topics are there in this first chapter. Okay, the first topic is what is a problem. When we know what is a problem, then we can solve it, then we can solve it. So what is a problem, how to define a problem, how to understand a problem, how to define a problem and how to understand a problem, and what is a problem. A problem may be a work or situation. A problem may be a work or situation which we are trying to solve. A problem may be a work or situation which we are trying to solve. A problem may be a work. A problem in simple terms, a problem may be a work. It may be a situation or it may be a work which we are trying to solve. Which we are trying to solve. Okay. So, what is the definition of a problem? A problem may be a work or a situation which we are trying to solve. Or in a simple words, a problem is a thing which we are trying to solve. And each and every problem has a solution. Each and every problem has a solution. Okay, we have to think on it. We have to think on it. How to solve the problem. We have to think on it. How to solve it. How to solve it. Then we can know the solution. Then we can know the solution. Right. So before this, we have to understand the problem. When we know what is our problem, we can find out the solution. We can find out the solution. For that first, we have to understand the problem clearly. We have to understand the problem clearly. This is called defining a problem. This is called defining a problem. This is called defining a problem. There are some steps involved in problem solving. There are some steps involved in problem solving. There are some steps involved in problem solving. Number one is defining a problem. Number one is defining a problem. See here, defining a problem, defining a problem and determining the root of the problem, identifying comma prioritizing and selecting the alternatives for a solution and implementing the solution, right? So here the problem solving steps are: a problem is a work or situation. A problem may be a work or situation which we are trying to solve, and the problem solving is the act of defining a problem, determining the root of the problem, identifying, prioritizing and selecting the alternatives for a solution and implementing a solution. Okay, so the first step is defining oblique understanding the problem. So first of all, we have to understand what is our problem. First of all, we have to understand what is our problem. Then only we can find out the solution. Then only we can find out the solution. That is called defining a problem. And second one is determining the root of the problem. Determining the root. Root means we have to go to the stage when the problem has occurred. What problem has occurred? Why the problem has occurred? We have to identify the root of the problem. Then next, identifying, comma, prioritizing and selecting the alternatives. Identifying, comma, prioritizing and selecting the alternatives for a solution and implementing a solution. So here the root of the problem, then identifying, comma, prioritizing and selecting the alternatives. It means that we have to find out the solution. Okay, so generally a problem has one solution or more than one solution also. A problem may have one solution or more than one solution. So in that one, we have to identify the solution. We have to identify the solution, and after getting the solutions, after getting the solution, we have to make it prioritizing. So first which we have to take, and second which we have to take. Okay, so like that we have to make it prioritizing. In that one, select the alternative, which is the best solution, which is the best solution to solve that problem, which is the best solution to solve that problem. And final is implementing it. Implementing means we have to implement that solution. We have to implement that solution. We have to implement it. We have to implement that solution, right? So a problem may be a work or situation which we are trying to solve, and the problem solving steps are: there is defining a problem, determining the root of the problem, identifying, prioritizing and selecting the alternatives for a solution, and implementing the solution and implementing the solution and implementing the solution. Right. So there are some steps involved in problem solving. So that is already I told you, defining a problem, and the second one is determining the root of the problem. That is called, we have to think on it. We have to think why the problem has occurred, why this problem has occurred, and how to solve it. How to solve? We have to make. We have to identify the root. We have to find out the root of the problem. Okay. So in that we may get some solutions. We may get some solutions. In that we may get some solution. Out of that solutions, in that solutions, we have to work on that solutions. We have to work on that solutions, and we have to make it prioritizing. We have to make it arrange as a priority order. So the solution 1, solution 2, solution 3, solution 4, like that. Okay. So and next we have to take the first alternative for solving this problem. Okay. So and the final is implementing a solution. These are the problem solving steps, and this is the refining and understanding the problem. Here we are trying to understand the problem to solve it. It gives the clear vision to find out the solution. So the first step explains as defining oblique understanding the problem. It means that here we are trying to solve, here we are trying to understand the problem to solve it. It gives the clear vision to find out the solution. It gives the clear vision to find out the solution. So it means that when you understand the problem clearly, when you understand the problem clearly, then only you can find out the solution. Then only you can find out the solution. So without understanding the problem, how you can find out the solution? Is it possible? No. So when we understand the situation, a problem is nothing but it may be a work or a situation. So that we have to make it understand very clearly. We have to make it understand very clearly. Then only we can find out the solution. Okay. The understanding of the problem gives clear vision, clear idea, clear thoughts to find out the solution, to obtain the solution, to obtain the solution. This is the very, very, very important step, that is defining oblique understanding the problem. Defining oblique understanding the problem. Okay. Is it clear? Right. So the first step is very, very important step. First step is very, why? Because so when we understand the problem clearly, when we understand the problem clearly, then only we can find out the solution. Then only we can find out the solution. So this is called the first step. And second step, analyzing the problem. So after understanding thoroughly the problem to be solved, we look at different ways of solving the problem and each evaluate each of these methods and evaluate each of. So here analyzing the problem. After understanding thoroughly the problem to be solved, we look at different ways of solving the problem and evaluate each of these methods. So analyzing the problem is nothing but think a solution, thinking a solution. So you have to think the solution means you have to understand you have to analyze the problem. After understanding thoroughly the problem to be solved, we look at different ways of solving the problem and evaluate each of these methods So in this step, we think on understanding or analyzing, more understanding. That is analyzing the problem. Okay, what is the inner problem? What is the inner details in that problem? And how to solve it? How to solve it thoroughly. Okay, so the step three is called decide on a solution. Decide on a solution. Here the overview of these sequences of operations that was the result of this analysis stage is expanded to form a detailed step-by-step solution to the problem under consideration. So here this is called, the step 3 is called deciding the solution. Deciding the solution means what? Deciding a solution means what? When we understand the problem, we may get some solutions, and we have to make it prioritize. So all the solutions what we have prioritized, we have to select the best alternatives out of these solutions, best alternatives out of these solutions, and we have to select the best alternative solution. We have to select the best alternative solution. We have to select the best alternative solution. This is called decide on a solution. Decide on a solution. And the last one is implementing the solution. Implementing the solution, that is the step 4, implementing the solution. And step 5 is the review the result. Okay, so step 4 is the implementing the solution, step 5 is the review the result. So it means that step 4, implementing the solution, is the stage of problem solving is the conversion of the detailed sequence of operations into a language that the computer can understand. So if you are solving this problem through a computer, if you are solving the problem with the help of the computer, so we have to convert all the steps, all the sequence of operations, all the steps into a computer understandable language. The computer understandable language. This is called implementing the solution. This one is called implementing the solution. This stage of problem solving is the conversion of the detailed sequence of operations into a language that the computer can understand, This stage of problem solving is the conversion of the detailed sequence of operations into a language that the computer can understand. Okay, that the computer can understand. So here each step is converted into its equivalent instruction or instructions in the computer language that has been chosen for the implementation. Okay, that is chosen for the implementation, right? The set of instruction is called a program, right? A program may be thought of as an algorithm. Okay, so that whatever the implementing the solution, whatever the steps we have taken, whatever the solution we have taken, so we have to solve this problem with the help of the computer. We have to solve this problem with the help of the computer. We have to convert that steps into a computer understandable language, so that the problem may be solved with the help of computer, with the help of the computer. So it means that we have to follow some steps, some techniques to solve this problem with the help of the computer. It means that we have to write a program that can be understandable by the computer to solve that problem, This is called implementing the solution. And the last step is that it is very important to review on what you have worked on problem and what impact the situation had. So the last one is the review the result. Review the result means what? So after implementing the solution, what results what results? So the result, whatever the result that we have expected it or not, the result got that we have expected or not, we have to see that uh, that solution. Okay, so out of some solutions I have select one solution. Out of some solution I have select one solution, and I have implement that solution, and finally we'll get the result means, so it is nothing but we have to see that result, how it is better result that to our expectations or not, Okay, so one solution may give 100% result, another solution may give 90% result, another solution may give 80%. So here we have to check whatever the solution we have taken to implement it, so that one gave us 100% result or not, gave us 100% result or not, that is called review the result. So total here the problem is nothing but it is a problem, maybe a work or situation which we are trying to solve. It may be a work or situation which we are trying to solve, and there are some steps in problem solving. The first step is what is the first step? The first step is understanding the problem, defining the problem, and analyzing the problem, deciding on a solution, implementing the solution, and review the result. Implementing the solution and review the result. So the first step is very, very, very important step. So that gives the clear picture. Of the problem. that gives a clear solution, clear picture of the problem. So when we understand it, and second one is analyzing the problem, that is nothing but more understanding and going inner details to the problem. So that gives the clear picture and that gives the thoroughly understanding, that is called thoroughly understanding. So that is in the way to find out the solution, that is in the way to find out the solution. And step 3 is decide on a solution. Decide on a solution is nothing but, so some problems have one solution and some problems have more than one solution also. Some problems have one solution, some problems have more than one solution also. More than one solution also. In that situations, we have to take the perfect solution, better solution, which gives 100% result. The solution gives 100% result, 100% result. So we have to select like that, we have to select that so that we will get 100% result. Okay, so and the next one is implementing the solution. This is very important step. Implementing the solution is the very important step. Why implementing the solution is very important step? Why this one is, so this is the thing, the theory is going to be become practically, we are going to implement the solution. So if you are using a computer, if you are using a computer to solve the problem, so we have to write the solution, we have to write the steps to solve the problem. So that is understandable by the computer, that is understandable by the computer language, that is understandable by the computer language. That is called a program, that is called a program. I want to solve a problem, I have a problem, I want to add two numbers. This is my problem, I want to add these two numbers with the help of the computer. So first of all, I need to write a program. I need to write a program which can be understandable by the computer. I need to write a program that can be understandable by the computer. Okay, before writing a program, first of all, we have to write some steps. We have to write some steps in a simple English language. In a simple English language, that is called algorithm. So so if you are trying to solve a problem with the help of the computer, you are trying to solve the problem with the help of the computer. So it means that you have to choose a language that can be understandable by the computer. So in that language only we have to write that instruction. That is called a program. That is called a program. So before writing a program, first of all we have to write an algorithm. Write an algorithm. Okay, so the algorithm is a simple English language. It should be a simple English language. The algorithm should be a simple English language, and it does not belongs to any programming language. The algorithm does not belongs to any programming language. Okay, a program may also be thought of as an algorithm expressed in a programming language. An algorithm therefore corresponds to a solution to a problem that is independent of any programming language. A problem solving technique follows certain steps to find out the solution of that problem. To find out the solution of that problem. Okay, so here the computer algorithm. The computer algorithm or algorithm. An algorithm is a steps to solve the problem. An algorithm is a steps, simple steps or steps to solve the problem. An algorithm is a simple steps or steps to solve the problem. An algorithm is a simple steps to solve the problem. Written in a simple English language. Written in a simple English language that can be understood by anyone, everyone. That can be understood by everyone, and it is not. It does not depend to any programming language. The algorithm is not dependent. It is not related to any program. It is the independent of all programming language or any programming language. All programming language or any programming language. Okay, so here the definition of algorithm and the characteristics of the algorithm. Definition of algorithm: in computer programming terms, an algorithm is a set of well-defined instructions to solve a particular problem. It takes a set of input and produces a desired output. For example, an algorithm to add two numbers: take two number input, add two numbers using plus operator, display the result. Here, the algorithm, an algorithm is a computer algorithm is a detailed step-by-step process for solving a problem with the help of computer. A computer algorithm or an algorithm, the problem which we are going to solve with the help of the computer, that is called an algorithm or computer algorithm. Okay, that is called an algorithm or computer algorithm. So this is going to be solved with the help of computer to solve that particular problem with the computer. Okay, so it should be in a simple English language. It should be in a simple, very simple English language. In computer programming terms, an algorithm is a set of well-defined instructions to solve a particular problem. It takes a set of input and produces a desired output. Okay, for example is that is addition of two numbers, that is addition of two addition of two numbers. The definition of the algorithm is the definition of the algorithm is in a computer programming terms, an algorithm is a set of well-defined instructions to solve a particular problem. It takes a set of input and produces a desired output. For example, an algorithm to add two numbers. Take two numbers inputs, add numbers using the plus operator, display the result. Okay, so here the characteristics of the algorithm. First of all, we have to know the characteristics of the algorithm or qualities of good algorithm. Qualities of the good algorithm. So the algorithm is a input output should be defined precisely. Input output should be defined precisely. Each step in the algorithm should be clear and no ambiguity. Algorithm should be most useful among many different ways to solve a problem. An algorithm should not include computer code. It should not include computer code. It should be in a simple English language. These are the characteristics or qualities of good algorithms. Characteristics of or qualities of good algorithm. Written in a simple English language. It is written in a simple English language. The algorithm written in a simple English language, and it does not dependent of any language. It is a language independent. 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 Okay, language independent. It must be defined steps. It must be defined step. It should always clear and no ambiguity. It should always clear and no ambiguity. It should be always clear and no ambiguity. It written in a simple words. It written in a simple English language words. It written in a simple English language. Okay, so it can be understood by everyone. It can be understood by everyone. It can be understood by everyone. Okay, so that is the characteristics of the algorithm. And the algorithm always starts with start. An algorithm is always starts with start and end with end. An algorithm is always starts with start and end with end. Okay, so these are the steps involved in development of algorithms. Algorithm is always start with the start and end with the end with the end. Okay, so steps involved in development of algorithms is start the problem, step by step execution in simple words, end the process. Start the problem, step by step execution in simple words, and end the process. Start the problem, step by step execution in simple words, end the process. These are the steps involved in problem solving. Okay, so steps involved in developing the algorithm. So the algorithm should be in a simple English language. See here, it should be in a simple English language. It should not include, it should not include computer code. It should not include computer code. Algorithm should be most useful among many different ways to solve a problem. Algorithm should be most useful among many different ways to solve a problem, right? So it should be in a simple, and always it starts with start, that is called start the problem, and step by step execution in simple words, and end the problem. Okay, so this is the just a simple algorithm for adding two numbers is an algorithm to add two numbers is take two number inputs, add numbers using plus operator, display the result. It is just like we add two numbers. that is a is equals to 10, b is equals to 20, c is equals to a plus b, c is equals to a plus b. So like that, c is equals to a plus b, like that. It is very very simple, very simple. Okay, so an algorithm to add two numbers is take two numbers input, add numbers using the plus operator, display the result. In general we do, that is a number a is equals to 10, b is equals to 20, c is equals to a plus b. Okay, so like that only, and we have to write this algorithm like this. Algorithm 1, add two numbers entered by the user, that is start. Step 1 is start. Step 2 is declare variables num1 comma num2 and sum, read values num1 and num2, add num1 and num2 and assign the result to sum. So that sum is equals to num1 plus num2, display the sum, stop. Okay, so algorithm 1, that is add two numbers entered by the user, is step 1 is start. Step 2 is declare variables num1 comma num2 and sum, read values num1 and num2, add num1 and num2 and assign the values. Okay, so this is the writing an algorithm of addition of two numbers, addition of two numbers. In general, if you want to purchase a book in the bookshop, if you want to purchase a book in the bookshop, if you want to purchase a book in the bookshop, so what you are going to do, what you are going to do, just tell me what you are going to do in general. Okay, so first of all we go to book house, bookstall or book house. Okay, it is a general problem. Okay, it is a general problem. In general we have to purchase a book in the bookshop. First of all, we go to the book house and we inquire, we ask the book, we inquire and we ask the book, we inquire and we ask the book, and we and pay the money, paying the money, paying the money of that book. Okay, how much amount? Okay, we ask the amount of that book. So what is the cost of that book? This is the cost of that book. Okay, so this the cost means we pay the amount to that particular book, right? And we come back again to the home. So this is the steps problem solving, that is purchasing a book, that is purchasing a book. Okay, so I like that. I like that. Addition of two numbers. Addition of two numbers is, how to write addition of two numbers is, here we need some memory location. We need some memory. We need some memory. So when you add two numbers means, first of all we need to store the two numbers in the memory. Then only we can add it. Then only we can add it. This is called declaration of variable. In terms of computer language, in terms of computer language, it is called as a declaration of variables. Here for adding two numbers, it requires three variables. For storing two numbers, two variables, num1 and num2 or ab, whatever the variables names. Okay, by following some names, by following some rules, we have to give the variable names. Okay, that I will discuss in the next classes, that I will discuss in the next classes. For understanding only, here I am giving you just the basic idea about the variables. Okay, so declare variable or create variables, that is num1 num2 and sum, and read values num1 and num2 and add num1 num2 and assign the result. It is just like declare the variables, that is declaration of the variables. Some simple terms a comma b comma c, like that, a comma b comma c, like that. And next, adding that numbers, that is c is equals to a plus b, and show the result. The result is available in the variable c. The result is available in the variable c, that is start, declare variable num1 num2 and some, read values num1 num2, add num1 and num2 and assign the result to sum. Sum is equals to num1 plus num2 and display the sum. And one more algorithm is start and declare variables a comma b comma b and c, read variables a comma b and c. If a greater than b, if a greater than c, display as a is the largest, c is the largest, b is the largest, c is the largest, b greater than, display b is the largest, to display. So this is the how we can find out the solution. Generally we are going to write that in the algorithms, write that in the algorithms. Okay, so that addition of two numbers, that is declare variables a comma b comma c, right? So in a simple terms, that is a way of, that is a way of writing an algorithm, writing an algorithm. Okay, so Okay, is it clear? Right? So what are the steps? So in that one, first of all we have to write this start. The first step should be start. The first step should be always, the first step should be start, and the last step should be stop. Okay, so the steps are encoded in between, the steps are written in between the start and stop. The steps are written in between this start and stop. Start and stop. Okay, so the first step, always the algorithm begin with start, begin with start and end with end. Begin with start and end with end or stop, end or stop. It is nothing but this is the end of the algorithm. It is the end of the algorithm. Okay, it is the end of the algorithm. Right? So this is the algorithm of two numbers, adding two numbers, algorithm of adding two numbers. Okay, so declare variables num1 num2 and some, read values num1 comma num2 and add num1 comma num2 and assign the result to the sum. And another algorithm is, see this one, see this algorithm, another one, declare variables a comma b and c. Okay, if you want to find out the biggest variable, largest variable among three numbers, among three numbers, among three variables or three numbers. So that is a code for this one. And next one is the factorial of a number. The factorial of a number is, it is nothing but, if you want to find out the factorial of 5, so that is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, so that is the logic, that is the solution to that factorial, finding out the factorial. So that logic here mentioned here in this algorithm, that logic is here. Okay, so this is the way of writing an algorithm. This is the way of writing an algorithm, right? So in this class I have clearly discussed what is a problem. Okay, in this class I have discussed, this is the topic in the chapter 1 unit 1, that is programming methodology and introduction to C language. This is a topic under programming methodology and introduction to C language, and this is the problem solving steps, and the topic is, the subtopic is problem solving steps. Okay, so I have clearly explained you what is a problem, what is a problem and how to solve the problem. I have clearly explained to you what is a problem and how to solve the problem, and what are the steps involved in problem solving. What are the steps involved in problem solving? Okay, what are the steps involved in problem solving? And there are five steps, that is, there are five steps, that is defining the problem and analyzing the problem. Next step is decide on a solution, implementing the solution and reviewing the result, implementing the solution and reviewing the result. Okay, so the first step is defining or understanding the problem. It is nothing but we have to understand the problem very clearly, then only we will get some idea how to solve it. We will get some idea how to solve it, how to solve it. Okay, so arranging and analyzing, it is nothing but understanding the problem is very clearly, very thoroughly. Understanding the problem is very thoroughly, very clearly, very clearly, very thoroughly, then only we will get more and more ideas, more and more ideas to solve it, to solve it. Okay, so in that one we have to select the best alternative, best alternative, best idea, best alternative, best idea and best alternative. You have to select the best idea and best alternative. You have to select the best alternative or best idea or best alternative. In that one we have to select the, in that one we have to select the best alternative, and that is called deciding a solution. And after this step, the next step is implementing the solution, and the implementing the solution is nothing but if you are using a computer to solve that particular problem, so that we have to write steps that can be understandable by the computer. We have to write steps that can be understandable by the computer to solve that problem. It is called a computer program. It is called a computer program. If you are solving any problem with the help of the computer that can be understandable by the computer language, then that steps are called as a program. Okay. So before writing a program, first of all we have to write an algorithm. Before writing a program, first of all we have to write an algorithm. An algorithm. So an algorithm is nothing but it is a step-by-step process to solve a particular problem. It is a step-by-step process or detailed step-by-step execution process to solve that particular problem. It is a step-by-step execution process to solve that particular problem. Here, the algorithm, there are some characteristics or qualities of an algorithm. Those are, it should be in simple steps. It can be understandable by anyone. It is not a language dependent. It is independent to any programming language. It is an independent to any programming language. It is an independent to any programming language. And it should be written in a simple English words. It should be written in a simple English language words. It should be written in a simple English language words. It should be written in a simple English language words. So these are the characteristics of an algorithm. A very simple problem that we have to add two numbers. For that purpose, we may write an algorithm like this. So that is the first step is the algorithm always starts with start. The algorithm always starts with start. It should be always starts with start and end with end or stop. End with end or stop. The algorithm always starts with start and end with end and end with end. So in between this start and end, we have to write down the step-by-step execution process. We have to write down the step-by-step execution process. In between this, we have to write down the step-by-step execution process. That is compulsory. It's a procedure. It is a procedure to write the algorithm. It is a procedure to write down the algorithm. It is a procedure to write the algorithm. Okay. So start step-by-step execution process. Start step-by-step execution process and end and end. Okay. So the next one is here the algorithm. The steps for writing an algorithm is the steps for writing an algorithm is start step by step process and end the process. Start step by step process and end the process. Okay. So and for adding two numbers, we have to take two numbers as input. We have to take two numbers as input, that is called declare variables num1 comma num2 and sum, and read values num1 and num2, add num1 and num2 and assign the results to sum. Sum is equals to num1 plus num2. This is a simple way of writing an algorithm for solving, for adding two numbers, for solving a problem that is adding two numbers, for solving a problem that is adding two numbers. Like that, some other algorithms are finding out a bigger number, largest number, and factorial of a number, factorial of a number. Okay. So these are the algorithms. Here the algorithms is nothing but it should be in a simple English language. So the algorithm is converted into a program. So for solving this problem with the help of the computer, we simply convert this algorithm into a program. We simply convert this algorithm into A program, a program, that is computer understandable program, computer understandable language, computer understandable language, that is called a program. The algorithm is converted into computer understandable language, that is called a program. Okay, so this is about in this first topic, this is about this topic. So thank you.